Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to this channel. Thank you guys so much for coming back every week and all that kind of stuff. So without any long intro or anything, I just want to introduce you guys to today's topic. So today we're going to be talking about waiting on God, and this can relate to anything. It can relate to waiting on God for a child, it can relate to waiting on God for a spouse, it can relate to waiting on God for your healing. Whatever waiting on God means for you, you can just personalize it so that today's message really, it really helps you, I hope. But I'm not alone. I'm going to be speaking to our amazing guest, Jamie. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm very well, Lola. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I think from the time where I asked you, to come on, I was just so excited because I know that your message and your story is so amazing, and God's hand is definitely on you, and my spirit just connects with you so much. So we thank God for that. Anyway, without
Thank
wasting too
you.
much time, so I want you to just do a little introduction, whatever it is that you want to share
Okay.
with us. Tell us about yourself. Let's get to know you.
Get to know me, sure. So my name is Demi. It's actually but the full name is Oluwademilade. So I'm a Yoruba girl, but I've grown up in the UK. I think since I was like one. We moved when I was one. I love God. I sing in my church choir. I sing alto, but unfortunately, with this whole lockdown, we've not really been able to sing as much. But I love to sing and serve God in my local church. I'm also married, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm actually talking to you today, because it wasn't an easy journey, but we'll get into that later. So I'm married. I have a little boy called Daniel. He's how old is he now? Almost 10 weeks. So I'm still getting used to the whole mommy vibe. I'm currently on maternity leave as well, so at least I'm not working. But when I was working, I work for an organization that helps people get advice. So advice for their benefits, advice for just general life, really. So that's what I do on a normal day. And I think that's me in a nutshell. Mm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Nice. Welcome on this channel. I always say
Thank
to our
you.
guests, like, feel free to come. Feel free to come. Anyway, so Jamie, I just want you to kind of quickly share your story with
Mm.
us. So let us know what it is that you waited on God for, and just let us know like what the journey was like for you.
Okay. So Lola, I have always wanted to get married since I was a young girl. I'd probably say since like 12, 13, I've always thought about my husband, my children, being a stay-at-home mom, all those kind of things. But unfortunately for me, well, you can say unfortunately or not, I wasn't really the type of girl that guys would flock to. So I never had boyfriends growing up. I didn't even have toasters, people coming asking me for my number. I was very just by myself. And I found that really difficult, especially as having friends. I had friends who had guys asking them out through the years. And I just felt really alone. And, I think also growing up in the family that I grew up in, my parents have been together for 30 something years. So I'd seen a fantastic marriage modeled for me. And I wanted that for myself, but it seemed like it just wasn't happening. So I think when it started to get really difficult was my mid 20s, because I've always wanted to get married at 25, and that didn't happen. So when I got to 25, I remember it was like a switch went off, and people started asking me, when are you going to marry? When are we going to come and eat rice? When are this? And I used to think, I want to marry more than you even want me to marry. So I don't know what's doing to people, And so the pressure started to mount. Thank God I didn't feel much pressure from my parents, but definitely church people, friends,
Yeah.
aunties, uncles. It really started to affect me. I remember being very sad during my single, season. I cried a lot, and I think it was just because when you're trusting God for something so much and it doesn't even seem possible. At least if I had a boyfriend or if I had people ask me out, I'll say, okay, it's looking like something happened. But it was just nothing. Nobody, there was nobody, So it was really hard. I remember times that I had to like fast pray, because I started thinking, okay, is this a spiritual issue? Is it that the devil has, covered my glory or whatever, So yeah, it was a very challenging time, but I think just before the breakthrough, just before the testimony itself, I'll explain briefly. I got to a place where I said, okay, Lord, if I don't marry, I have to be okay with that. If that marriage is not for me, if I'm crying but you're not going to answer this prayer, then okay, I'll accept your will. That's number one. And then number two, I decided in my heart that I need to enjoy my life, because for a long time I wouldn't leave my house. I'll be eating, gaining weight, just sleeping and just becoming really almost depressed. And I thought, yeah, marriage is beautiful, marriage is great, but that's not the only thing in life. I have friends, I have a church, I have ministry, I have so many other things I can do. So I really told myself that I had to snap out of that, lowness of spirit, and trust God that if he wanted to give it to me, he would give it to me. So fast forward a few years, I met my husband when I was 28 years old. He moved to the place I live in, the city I live. And when I saw him the first time, I thought, oh, wow, this uncle is very fine. He's a very fine guy. But actually, he had a girlfriend at the time. He had a girlfriend. So when I knew that, obviously, my mind just switched. I wasn't going to chase anybody's man. I don't believe in that. So I left him alone. But fast forward a few months, he actually ended the relationship with the girl, and he then started to pursue me. And it's so funny, Lola, let me tell you, somebody that's been praying and crying for so long, when the guy now came, I said no. I said no to 3 times because I was scared. I was afraid. Yes, I didn't know that God can do something so quickly and easily. You know, because for so long I'd be like, God, do it for me. I call my husband forth in the name of Jesus, wherever he is. Everything had become so hard. And then God came and just made it easy. And I was like, this is a bit too easy. But fast forward, I decided to give him a chance. I actually had to give him a chance because my father actually had a dream. When he told me that dream, I had to take it seriously. But as a pastor, so I had to put the daddy thing aside and say, okay, spiritually, God is trying to get my attention, and I need to listen, because my pride, was really kicking in that, oh, he's not what I want really. He talks too much. This is that. So when I had that dream, I then said, okay, Demi, give this guy a chance. And I thank God I did, because he's the best thing that ever happened to me. And he's just God-given husband. And yeah, I think that was 2019 that we started. And by 2020, we were married. So yeah, that's my story, Lola, in a nutshell. That's my testimony.
That is, and I know that like little. Can you hear me okay?
I think it's breaking a little bit.
Okay. I think the audio is sometimes when people then tend to like disconnect. Can you let us know, did you experience that or
yeah, so I think my sorry, can you hear me? Is it okay? Okay, Lola, sorry. Yeah, I got your question. So my relationship with God at the time. Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I think the screen is frozen, but I can hear you.
Sorry, Lola, can you hear me? Oh, right. Okay,
I can
sorry. I was just trying to, yeah. Okay, relationship with God. There were times that I was angry, definitely, because I felt like, and I'll be honest with you, I felt like I deserved a husband. I felt I deserved a good husband because I kept myself. So I always grew up believing that, you shouldn't have sex before you're married. You should keep yourself chaste and be a virgin, etc. And I had done that. And I felt like, God, I know some people who haven't done that, and you've given them husbands. And I'm here, obeying your word to the letter, and you're not answering my prayer. So I felt very like, what's the point, But I think beyond that, I realized that, okay, Demi, God is the only person that can answer this prayer anyway. So me being distant, there's no point, because I can't conjure up for myself. I mean, I don't have guys queuing up. So if I really want this testimony, is it not God I need to cling to? So what I ended up doing, I think, was being more authentic with God and really telling God my feelings. There's only so much you can tell friends, family about, how you really feel. But I really ended up, I would talk to God like I'm talking to you now. And I'll say, Lord, I'm not happy. I'll say, Lord, why don't I have a boyfriend? I'll say, Lord, why doesn't anyone fancy me? It was a very authentic relationship because I just knew that he was the only one who got me anyway. So I definitely understand people can get distant from God, and God understands as well. I mean, it's not easy, you know, when we worship God, we pray, we do all the things we're meant to do, and it seems God is not answering. But I think always remembering that we have no one else but Him anyway, so there's no point running away from our source, really. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just give me 1 second. I fix something.
Sure.